Hello everyone, it's been a while since we've done one of these videos, but here we are again with the new kit reveal for Starros here. So this was just revealed not too long ago, and she will be the fourth and last marquee for the upcoming Dr. Aphra event, together with the new droid units and Hondo Onaka. So let's take a quick look here. So Sana Starros, I don't really know too much about her other than she was in the comics together with Dr. Aphra and the droids and such. So I don't really know too much about her. But let's take a look here. So Sana Starros, here we got a nice little graphic here. She will be light side, attacker, leader, scoundrel, and smuggler. So some of the highlights is rebel sympathizer, so help elevate the rebel scoundrels. Like the damage area of effect damage. Raise suspicion. Some analysts may not be sure of Sana's intentions, but can use that suspicion to their advantage. We got smart targeting also, so applying target lock helps Sana deal more damage and gain more turn meter, and helps some analysts utilize more abilities. So I don't know, it seems that they're kind of trying to push target lock a little bit. Like target lock is known in ships right now, but not much else other than that. It's mostly like ships has been like too useful for some few instances like here and there, but I don't know, it feels like they try and make it more mainstream outside of ships at least. So some of the synergy suggestions here is Rebel Officer Leia, Captain Han Solo, Lando Calrissian, and Stormtrooper Han. So you know, some of the a little bit older ones, which isn't too useful anymore, but I also think they could be some other great uses, like you can take Dash Render, Han Solo, Chewie, like all of those, and we'll talk about that in a minute once we read through the kit. So just as we talked about, Sana Starros, Lightside, Attacker, Leader, Scoundrel, Smuggler. So some key attributes here: great at lowering cooldowns, helps team do more crit damage, Rebel Scoundrel tanks get tankier, and Stormtrooper Han Solo, like way back in the, I don't know if you guys remember, but way back in the day, he was like the go-to tank. It's kind of fallen out a little bit, so you know, if this can maybe help get Stormtrooper Han a little bit back into the game, might still need an Omicron to make him viable again, but we'll see. And also provides a way to stealth rebel allies who will assist, and has ability to boost health gain. So the inspiration. So Sana Starros' first appearance had her proclaming to be Han Solo's wife, giving us the ID for the icon for a profession I can trust. This puts Leia on the edge and immediately made her suspicious of Sana, which we pay homage to with this suspicious debuff. So this seems to be like a new debuff here, so trying to utilize target lock a little bit more and getting suspicion in here, so that will be interesting. Sana Starros has worked with the Rebel Alliance from time to time, but never fully threw in with the cause, which is why she works well with rebels and scoundrels, but is not a rebel herself. So I don't know, maybe that's the reason they give, but so sometimes the reason might not always be like too reasonable. Like the reason Dash Render is he's a rebel but his ship isn't rebel, or like his ship is rebel but he isn't rebel, is because he would be too OP to have a rebel tag. But this kind of makes sense a little bit, but sometimes the tags doesn't always make too much sense. Aphra's lesson in coercion, which is the name of Sana's special ability, would lead to Sana's eventual mastery of the technique, which she used to blackmail the professionals into giving Aphra her doctorate. And in Dr. Aphra, the 2020 comic, Aphra says about Sana, a professional I can trust or trust this. So Dr. Aphra is from the comic, Sana Star is from the comic. Like these are like comic book characters we get to know, and I kind of like that they're expanding into the comics a little bit. They've gone into the games and movies, TV shows, so getting into comics a little bit, I like that. So some strategy tips: target lock is your friend, and some units really love the suspicious mechanic. So here we got some frequently asked questions. Can we get a clarification on the first time each turn Rebel Isles and Sana deal damage to more than once? This will be in the kit here right now. It's just like they usually put this. They usually used to put like these stuff here like separate and the kit separate, but now they have it in one go. So we're just reading through this first, but this will be like in somewhere in the kit. So if there is more than one instance of damage in a single turn, either from a character doing damage multiple times a single enemy, or multiple enemies taking damage from an area of effect damage, then this effect will be triggered. I think a really good is Dash Render. I think like because he has like multi attacks on his basic attack, and he's got like this whole AoE, so triggers on either one of those. So I guess that's a good enough example. Like Dash Render is like his basic, I think it's like damage 3 times or something. I can't remember completely. Where is her Omicron and what does it do? So her Omicron is in Territory Wars, so this will be a TW character. Not sure how everybody feels about TV Omicron. I don't personally like them, and especially now with the new upcoming TV, we need to invest more Omicrons into TB. So it's like, they really need to invest more in TW. I think like all the big guilds are going to go all on TB. There are probably new characters. Reva is coming, but probably also new characters for new currency and whatever else it might be. So I'm sure everybody will focus on new TB coming in instead of TW. Like we got the Droid Raiders Relic 9, we've like gotten it for a long time. I think like most of us have like gotten like enough. We don't really relic too many cards to R9 right now, and maybe TB will also include some. We'll actually have to see. So her Omicron is Territory War, as I said, and adds a buff spell, inflicts ability immunity, as well as making her squad immune to daze condition. So I really like this immune to daze. I think this could be really interesting depending on teams, because it could take out certain counters and stuff like that. You have somebody who dazes your whole team. I know Gas, he has a mass AoE daze whenever he like uses his force thing. So stuff like that. Also, I don't think I've seen this before, might have missed it, but they have a question about Sana Starros kit. Fill out this form. So you can click here and actually fill out like a form about it. The deadline is the 29th, which is, actually is tomorrow, or is it today, later today? So you have very little time if you want to actually have any question for it. So starting off here, we got the basic abilities here. Cheap Shot. So deal special damage to target enemy and inflict vulnerable for 1 turn. If the enemy already had vulnerable, inflict vulnerable on all enemies for 1 turn instead. So pretty straightforward. Deal damage, inflict vulnerable. If it's already vulnerable, give everybody vulnerable. I'm pretty sure vulnerable is the one that, if I'm not mistaken right now, I should maybe check that out, but I think vulnerable is the one where you get critical hit no matter what. So that's actually a really good thing to have on everybody. If I'm mistaken, sorry about that. Forgot to check up on that. So special 1, Lesson Incursion. This has a cooldown of 4. So final text here. Rebel Scoundrel tanks recover 20% protection. Dispel all debuffs on non-tank rebel allies and Sana. Sana and they gain critical chance up and stealth for 2 turns. Then call all stealthed allies to assist with 100% critical damage. So this is actually really interesting. The only thing I'm a little bit worried about is currently a team we kind of want to put together. As you saw here, like the suggestions, you got Rolo, Captain Han, Lando, so I'm trying like, do you have, even with the extra critical damage, is this like even enough damage? Is this like even enough damage to like bring it on par with like any of the other top tier meta squads right now? We'll have to see. Maybe some new Omicrons come, maybe some reworks. Like as I said, Captain Han, Stormtrooper Han, Lando definitely need reworks in their kit, in my opinion. So maybe there's something in the works for some of them, but we'll have to see. Special 2, the Smart Targeting Scatterblast. This has a cooldown of only 3. So deal special damage to all enemies and inflict tenacity down for 2 turns. Then deal damage again to all target locked enemies and stagger them for 1 turn. And this is actually a really nice ability here. Because first you inflict tenacity down, so you have a higher chance at inflicting debuff. And then you deal damage to all target locked enemies. Keep in mind, you gotta have it in target locked, but that means the stagger is basically going to be a guaranteed lock on for them if you inflict tenacity down first. Kind of like Mar Jages right now. You do her first special first. Takes tenacity down on everybody. You go stealth, you take another turn, you throw a grenade, put all the debuffs, stagger everything on. So kind of similar to that, I feel like it will be, as long as they have target lock on them. So here, the leader ability, this is the Omicron one. So the final text here is Rebel Scoundrel tanks have 30% defense, max health, and max protection, and gain 50% turn meter whenever a non-tank Rebel ally or Sana is damaged by an attack. And Rebel allies and Sana have 30% offense and potency. And at the start of battle, Rebel allies and Sana gain protection up 100% until they use an ability. So they are a little bit beefy under her lead, which seems pretty nice. And whenever a rebel ally or Sana has less than 100% turn meter and gain bonus turn meter, they gain 25% critical damage stacking until they critical hit an enemy. Kind of similar to how Veteran Han and Veteran Chu works. You know, whenever someone in the lead slot, which is resistance or like the opposite of them, gets hit, they keep stacking critical damage until they take a turn. So you could potentially see some big hits coming out from this squad. And if a Rebel Scoundrel removes turn meter from an enemy, and this is the one I really like the most, that enemy also takes damage equal to 20% of their max health, which can't be evaded. And we will talk about that this year in a minute, because I think there's going to be a certain squad which is going to benefit a lot from this. So this damage can't defeat enemies, and the first time each turn Rebel allies and Sana deal damage more than once, they gain 25% max damage, stacking up to 200% for the rest of the encounter. And when Rebel allies or Sana critical hits an enemy, they inflict target lock for 1 turn, which can't be waited. And whenever an enemy is inflicted with target lock, reduce Rebel Scoundrel tank's cooldown by 1. So this is really nice if you got someone with AoE, like Lando. Maybe you got the regular Chewie on the team, you know, somebody who can do an AoE. Everybody target locked, and you know, the squad is good to go. You can just start abusing that target lock, which this squad will do. And reduce cooldown on Rebel tanks seems nice, but I don't know if it's enough. I don't know if this is enough yet, but we'll have to see. Maybe there's some other Rebel tanks, Scoundrel tanks we can find that can maybe work. Right now there isn't too many Rebel Scoundrel tanks, I think. You got Captain Han, not Captain Han, Stormtrooper Han, so I'm not sure who else. And while in Territory Wars, Rebel Scoundrel and Sana are immune to daze. At the start of the battle, Rebel Scoundrel tanks stun for 1 turn, and Rebel Scoundrel and Sana start with tenacity up for 1 turn. Target lock can be resisted from this ability. And when a Rebel allies and Sana deal damage to multiple targets in a turn or multiple times to a single target, dispel all buffs on all enemies and inflict healing wound for 1 turn. So this seems like a pretty nice TW Omicron if your guild is like TW focus or you want to focus on TW. But again, brings to my point, new TV is, they said it's coming in December, and we are, what's the 29th today, so it's like tomorrow, 1 day until December starts, and it's like, do you really want to spend your Omicrons right now when you can just wait and maybe get some of for TW, improve CMs, maybe do a special mission or other than that. So we'll see. We'll see if this will be worth it. But for now, I'd say keep focusing on GSC or maybe say for TB ones. And finally, we got a unique, a profession I can trust-ish. So Sana has 35% counter chance and 20% critical chance. And at the start of each Rebel Allies turn, whenever Sana invades an attack or whenever Sana attacks out of turn, all non-Scoundrel allies are inflicted with suspicious for 1 turn, which can't be copied or resisted. Sana assists whenever a non-attacker Rebel Scoundrel uses a special ability, and whenever Sana assists this way, she recovers 20% protection, and Rebel allies recover half that amount. So we got some pretty nice consistent recover here. 20% protection is actually a lot, and 10% to all others. So depending on the tag, it can actually be a lot. I don't know the exact stats of if you took your Stormtrooper Han to R9, but I would guess he would be really beefy. And if you could get him tanking and keep recovering protection, I think he could actually be a really good one. But we'll still have to see. He's still outdated on his kit. He's got some nice stuff, but he's still outdated. And whenever an enemy is inflicted with target lock, Sana gains 5% turn meter. So with Suspicion, you gain minus 10 speed, but you get plus 100% critical chance, but that does not stack with critical chance up. So basically, you gain 10 less speed, but you get a 100% critical chance. So you can maybe take that to advantage. Maybe there's somebody you don't really care too much about having lots of speed. And this is for all non-Scoundrel allies are inflicted with Suspicious for 1 turn. So if you're a non-Scoundrel, you get Suspicious. So there can be maybe a lot of fun theory crafting with this team here, because it can be just about anything as long as it's not non-Scoundrel. Probably will be very limited to who will be useful, but who knows? But anyway, so somebody right here I saw had commented, Gerard Fantastic had commented the Rebel Scoundrels here. So if you just want like a quick look at them, it's Han Solo, Chewbacca, Stormtrooper Han, Captain Han Solo, Lando Calrissian, and Cara Dune. So, now, you might know two specific names here, and these are the names I want to talk about, and that's Han Solo and Chewbacca. Because it just seems they get more and more used just as time goes on. Right now, I think you can get like 3 or 4 different teams you can put them in. Like you can do the cheap man CLS and do Wedge in the lead, Wedge with Han and Chewie. You can do the CLS with Han and Chewie. You can do the Dash Render with Han and Chewie, which is really popular right now because the Dash Omicron. Or you can do the new Sana Starros with Han and Chewie. And I'll tell you why I think that'll be really good. Because Han Solo here, we're going to talk about Han Solo. Chewie is there mostly because he's a ride-along with Han Solo. But also, he has a Rebel Scoundrel and has AoE attacks, so it's pretty nice. But it's Han Solo specifically, and oh my god, they got fucking right in here if you didn't notice. But yeah, his basic right here. Deal physical damage to target enemy. If the target has less than 50% turn meter, deal 75% more damage. Otherwise, remove 35% turn meter. So we all know this by now, like how Han Solo's kit works, like how his basic attack works. He's been out in the game since years, he's been there forever. So if a target will have 90% turn meter, you basic with Han Solo, you remove turn meter twice, because you first remove 35%, you bring it down to 55, then remove another 35%, which brings it down to, was it 20%? Or 30%? My math's probably not too good right now. But anyway, we remove turn meter twice. And let's get back into the dark here and take a look again at the Sana Starros kit here. Let's see if I can't find it again. So right here, if a Rebel Scoundrel, Han Solo, removes turn meter from an enemy, that enemy also takes damage equal to 20% of their max health. So he removes turn meter twice. So first off, he has a really huge basic attack. You probably notice his basic attacks can be, he can be really good. Let's just say that, really good. So first off, you have a really high damage basic attack, and then you can remove turn meter twice, and both those times you remove 20% of the max health, hitting even more. I think that's going to be absolutely insane. Maybe paired here. So I think like the days of CLS is we're probably starting to see the end of those, because as we see here, Datacron, Dashes, now with Sana Starros, probably we'll see those two on the team. Maybe something like Sana Starros, Han, Chewie. We also had Cara Dune, Captain Han, Lando. So we got lots of choices. Also had a few or two other I want to talk about. And oh my god, I'm blanking here. Sorry about that. Yeah, and that is L3 and Vandor. And it is going a little bit in another direction here, because right now I'm not thinking about Sana Starros as the lead here, because she is a lead as you've seen. But right now I'm thinking about, can she be useful on the dash? Can she be useful on the dash render? Because look right here, she is attacker, leader, scoundrel, smuggler. These two tags here, scoundrel and smuggler, will go well with dash render. So if it doesn't pan out, like let's say these here, like Rolo, Captain Han, Lano, Stormtrooper Han, let's say they aren't they aren't up to the task. They're all characters, all loaded characters. So this team is kind of like B grade. Maybe it's worth using, maybe not, you know. So maybe instead you want to find a new home for her. And you also want to keep your CLS squad. So maybe you keep your CLS, Han and Chewie, and then you just forget about her lead and put her on a dash instead. Because she still has some pretty nice kits here, which is not lead related here. So she could still be useful for that. And also her unique. But if she's good enough for it. So what I'm thinking, like something like dash render, Vandal, Chewie, to get everybody revived with a prepared unit, and then put L3 in as a tank, and then you could also add in Han and Solo if you Han and Chewie if you wanted. So I think there could be like a lot of fun with this, but obviously we need to wait until the kit arrives, or the character arrives in the game, so we can actually try her out and everything like that, because right now we only got her like thing on paper. We don't know damage, health, speed, everything like that, so we'll still have to see. But for now, she looks like a really interesting character, and I'm looking forward to her. As I said, she will be like the last piece into the new event to get Dr. Aphra together with the 2 droids and Hondo and Naka. Probably will be like a few months until she's farmable, so don't expect to get Dr. Aphra until probably like, I don't know, towards summer next year. So probably like half a year. You still need like a few months until she's farmable, and a few months to farm her. So unless you spend crystals, still a few months. Probably could expect Dr. Aphra by summer. By that time, TB has been out for like half a year, so probably we'll know a little bit more about how well she performs in TB from like the whales getting her right away and testing her out. But anyway, that's it for this video here. This is the Son of Starros kit reveal here. Been a while since I said been a while since I've done a YouTube video here, so maybe just a little bit rusty, you know. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave a comment below if you did enjoy the video or have any thoughts about Son of Starros. Do you think she'll be a good addition to this game? Do you think she can make some interesting new teams, make all characters useful again, like Rolo, Captain Han, Lando, and such? Still up in the air for me. But anyway, if you did enjoy the video, consider leaving a like and subscribing down below, and also leaving a comment. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Anyway, take care.